Hi, welcome to the Shelly Studio, and today is my Our Mixed Media Moods project. Actually, I decided this one was going to kill two birds with one stone. I'm a member of a couple of Facebook pages, and I love Our Mixed Media Moods. It really inspires me to do these crazy textured three-dimensional type pieces. And the other one is a monthly challenge. I can't remember. It's like we travel around the world, and I don't know if you can read what I'm writing on there, but our trip is to Greece, and so I put, it's Greek to me. I love to travel the world, Europe, and I can't even read that last place. And maybe it's like everywhere, I don't even know. So that was done in texture paste, and now I'm just putting a coat of gesso just to get rid of the brown, even everything out. I just put the writing in there just to give the background some texture. It does take me a little while to gesso this, so I think I'm gonna skip to the end. My Mixed Media Moods pieces tend to have a lot of steps, so it does get to be kind of long. I was thinking about Greek, and I thought of Greek columns, and I thought, what a great way to use up this cardboard. They could look like columns, so I cover this with gesso, and I think I skipped part of it. Yeah, there we go. Now it's dry. And we're gonna just try and cut it, and I think the blade on this particular knife is too short. Can't get all the way through, so we're just grabbing the scissors and we're just gonna cut it and trim it up, make it look nice. See, doesn't that look like a column? I don't know, Doric? If you don't know that's a style of column, I'm just naming one because that's the one I can remember from school. Yes, we want them to look like ruins. I was a bit rough on that though, kind of smushed the little corrugated part, so I want to fluff it back up. Doing it to all of them. There we go. So now we've got our columns. I'll just figure out how to lay this out on my board. Something like that. Yeah. Oh, and apparently I didn't record. I have a bunch of cheap dollar store silk roses, and so I gessoed one of them. Make it white. I wanted something more three-dimensional on this one, and I like the idea of doing a flower. So now I'm just gluing my little cardboard strips on. I think I got a little heavy on the glue. Rub that down. There we go. I think this one I do a little bit better. Not quite as heavy-handed in the glue. That bottle's not heavy enough. There we go. This is precarious. When I put gesso on the other side, it kind of curled them so they don't lay flat. So I have to use something to hold them down so they'll eventually go flat. There we go. Didn't get glue under that one. Had to work at that. Okay, so now I've got to figure out how I want to put the flowers on there. Trying to think of how I could do this logically, but it just wasn't coming to me. Alright, we'll tear them up into petals. You can see I only gessoed one side. There we go. That's a good idea. We'll glue that down. I did speed this up quite a bit so that we could get through all of it without it taking too long. It is a little bit longer video. These mixed media moves ones do tend to be a little bit longer. Glue that last piece on. Yay, okay. So a part you did not see was I took some of the texture paste and pushed it along the edges of the cardboard so that it didn't have gaps underneath it. And so I'm just doing another coating of gesso, just kind of covering up the texture paste and making the surface all the same. And I have put like 4 or 5 layers of gesso on these silk roses to try and get them to not look red and green, the leaves green, because that just sort of showed through quite a bit. So I did lots of layers. And here I'm just doing even more. Trying to make them look brush stroked, which, I don't know, just makes them kind of look messy. But I was trying to make them look painted. I don't know why. I was thinking it would look good. I don't know. Alright, so now that that's dry, I'm going with my color to try and match that mood board at the beginning. Mine's a little bit, I can't remember if it's bluer or greener, but it's not quite the same color. I took the bottle I have that I'm pouring that out of is, it's like ocean something, but it's got other colors, some white and stuff mixed in. So it's not a pure, even though I'm squeezing it out of that bottle was mostly empty. And I think I added glazing medium and white, and I think another shade of blue to try and get that color, try and match the color. I decided I needed some shadowy areas, so I'm adding a little bit of Payne's Gray. I decided it's too gray, so I add a little blue to it. Just because my flower, even though it's three-dimensional, felt really flat, being all the same color. So I'm hoping this will give it a little bit of depth. Make it a little bit more interesting. And really with these things, I'm just making it up as I go along. I don't know any real techniques or styles. I'm just, just going for it. Which I think is a lot of fun. If you want to try something, just explore, see what might happen when you put crazy things together. This white has a little bit of glazing medium in it, so it's a little thin. And I put too much gray and need to put some light back in. So I'm liking this, but it's still just kind of, I don't know, feels a little one note to me. So I decided I would pick up a little bit of that kind of rusty orange. This is really bright, but it gets better. Wanted to go for a little bit of that rusty orange kind of color that I saw on the mood board in at least one of the pictures. And so I decide our columns are gonna be aged and rusty. Not that they're made out of metal, but maybe it's the plaster's rusting. I don't know. I like how when I spray it, the color climbs up the column. I am doing this on a flat surface, but it really climbs up the column pretty fast. You'd almost think my table was tilted that direction. At least on that side. Well, no, it climbed pretty fast on the other side too. Decided it was climbing too high too fast, so I'm trying to blot it down a little bit with a paper towel. And now I decide you can't see enough of that texture I created in the background, so I'm just taking some brown and some glazing medium. And I'm just going to brush it all over so you can see that stuff a little bit, not that you can read it. And then wipe it back. And I do this really quick. I don't wait. I'm too afraid that it won't ever come off, so I just do it really fast. And it's dry here, so it does dry fast. Trying to do the same thing down below. And I really kind of like how that brown turned out. I think I would have liked to have done the flower that way instead of with the gray, but that was already done. Okay, so I found this owl, an image of this owl, and I've glued the photocopy to some card. It's cardboard from a food packaging. And here I am thinking I'm painting white. It looks like I'm painting white, right? The tube looks the same as my white paint. Oh well, this bird's gonna have a little texture because that is texture paste. That is not white paint. It does make it a little bit of white, but it really doesn't whiten it up. I was like, wow, this is good. I can paint and I'm not like losing my lines. Yeah. I don't notice for a while. You'll see eventually. Like in a half an hour. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway. So I'm colorizing the stump and making it match kind of what we've already got going on the page. The rusty sort of color. And there were other images on there. There's like flowers and stuff, but we're ignoring that. So this paintbrush is one I got in my artsy set, which I haven't uploaded that video yet. But isn't that fun? It's so pointy. I just love it. Hopefully I'll treat it nice enough that it will last me a while. I'm really hard on brushes. Alright, I feel like I lost the lines of the eyes, so I'm coming in with a Sharpie, trying to fix that a little bit. Sharpen up his beak. Because it is a blown up image, so it's like pixelated. So now I'm just going to edge it with a little bit of black. Just because I want it. Alright, so now we're going to figure out how to get this on here. And I think I want it behind the rose, so we have to fake that. So here I'm tracing the shape of where I want it to be. And now I'm going to create my own little carbon paper. Trace that line. Now we're going to cut it out. That's simple. I decided I don't want that going down both sides. Make a better tree trunk like that. There we go. So now I have finally realized that that was really gray. I hadn't put any white paint on it. I'd used texture paste. So now we're going to paint it just a little bit with the white paint because it was looking kind of dull on there. And this will make it stand out a little bit better, hopefully. And I by no means paint this perfectly. I'm just like wanting to add white, lighten it up. See, it's much whiter now. There, that looks a little bit better on there. Not quite as gray. Oh, it's a cereal box. That's what it was. I'm gonna glue that down, put something to weight it in place. Now that it's dry, I'm gonna fix my eyes just a little bit more, create some shading in there. Kind of lost that when I painted. Then I decided it needs something around it. So this is just the brown. I don't think this has glazing medium, but it's acting like it does. I might have put some in there. If my paint's running low, I tend to add stuff to it to use it. So I probably did put some glazing medium in there, just so that I could make it go a little bit further. I really should mark that on there. So now I decide to darken the edges a little bit. And that's what art journalers love to do, is frame the edges. And I really like that look. Now this, I'm mixing some texture paste and some white paint. That other bottle was empty. And I want real texture and some white. I think we need to turn that homemade flower into a flower. And since it's all textury, I want the center to have lots of texture. So there it is. So that's the flower close-up. And the other flower. I was trying to get that in focus, but it wasn't working for me. So I hope you liked that. If you did like it, please hit like. Feel free to share, comment. If you'd like to see more, please subscribe. Thanks for watching.